You came back, and that tells me something crucial about you. You're not just consuming content. You're actively seeking the deprogramming tools to break free from the mental prison you discovered in video 1. In that first video, we exposed the uncomfortable truth. You were systematically programmed from childhood with poverty code. Those 5 destructive programs running silently in your subconscious. Money is evil. We're not the type who gets rich. You have to struggle for little. They're not your thoughts. They're inherited malware. But seeing the virus isn't enough. Today, we don't just identify it. We systematically delete it and install new operating code. Because here's what separates people who understand they were programmed from people who actually break free. The willingness to go deeper than surface-level affirmations and do the uncomfortable work of rewiring neural pathways that have been hardwired for decades. The question burning in your mind should be, how do I forcibly interrupt these automatic poverty patterns and install wealth programming so deep that prosperity becomes my natural default state? That's exactly what we're doing together right now. No theory. Pure application. Let me show you something that's probably happening to you right now without your awareness. You're walking through a store. You see something you want, not even expensive, maybe $50. And instantly, automatically, before conscious thought even forms, you feel a physical sensation. A tightness in your chest. A voice that says, "You can't afford that." A wave of anxiety. That's not a rational calculation. That's programmed response. Your poverty code is executing automatically. And the worst part? You've trained yourself to obey it so reflexively that you don't even question it anymore. The automatic poverty loop. Here's how the loop works, operating thousands of times per day. Step 1. Opportunity appears. Could be a business idea, an investment, a course, even just buying something nice. Step 2. Immediate anxiety spike, programmed response. Step 3. Rationalization engine activates. I don't really need that. It's too risky. Who am I to do this? Step 4. Retreat to safety. You say no, you stay small, you remain in your current financial state. Step 5. Relief. Your nervous system calms because you stayed in the familiar zone. Step 6. Reinforcement. The poverty program just got stronger because you obeyed it. This loop executes so fast, often in less than 3 seconds, that most people never consciously notice it happening. They just know they decided not to pursue the opportunity. But it wasn't a decision. It was programming. Technique number 5. The 3-second intervention. Here's the pattern interrupt protocol I developed to break this automatic loop. The moment you feel that familiar anxiety spike around money or opportunity, you have a 3-second window before the rationalization engine fully activates. In those 3 seconds, you must. Second 1. Name it out loud or internally. Poverty program detected. Second. 2. Take 1 deep breath. This interrupts the anxiety cascade. Second. 3. Ask. What would the wealthy version of me do right now? That's it. 3 seconds. But those 3 seconds create a gap in the automatic response. And in that gap, choice becomes possible. I started doing this obsessively. Every single time I felt that anxiety spike, which at first was dozens of times per day, I would stop, name it, breathe, and ask the question. At first, I still often chose the poverty response, but the act of making it conscious, of creating that 3-second gap, began to weaken the automatic loop. After about 3 weeks of consistent practice, something remarkable happened. The gap started to get longer. Instead of 3 seconds, I had 5 seconds, then 10, then a full minute to make a conscious choice instead of an automatic poverty response. And gradually, the wealthy response started to feel more natural than the poverty response. The momentum killer. Analysis paralysis. Another automatic poverty pattern is analysis paralysis, the tendency to overthink every financial decision until the opportunity passes. This isn't careful planning. This is fear disguised as prudence. James Clear documented something powerful in Atomic Habits, the 2-minute rule. If something can be started in less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. But I adapted this for breaking poverty programming, the 2-minute commitment rule. When a financial opportunity appears, an investment, a business idea, a course, you have 2 minutes to make one micro-commitment toward it. Not the whole decision. Just one tiny step. Example. You see a course that could increase your income. instead of spending 3 weeks thinking about it, which really means letting your poverty program talk you out of it. You commit to one action within 2 minutes. Send one email asking a question, watch the first free lesson, or schedule a call. That micro-commitment creates momentum, and momentum breaks the paralysis pattern. I used this to overcome years of researching opportunities to death. Every time something appeared, 2-minute rule, one micro-action. Immediately. The results? I started actually taking opportunities instead of just thinking about them endlessly. Breaking the poverty loop is half the battle. The other half is installing new automatic responses that serve wealth instead of scarcity. Here's a powerful daily practice I developed. The Scarcity to Abundance Translator. Every time you catch yourself thinking a scarcity thought, you immediately translate it to abundance language. Scarcity. I can't afford that. Abundance translation. How can I create the value to afford that? Scarcity. This is too expensive. Abundance translation. Is this worth the value it provides? Scarcity. I'll never have that kind of money. Abundance translation. What path leads to that level of wealth? Notice the shift? Scarcity language closes doors. Abundance language opens possibilities. But here's the crucial part. You can't just think the translation. You must write it down. I created a translation journal. Every day, I captured at least 3 scarcity thoughts and wrote their abundance translations. Within 2 months, I had filled an entire notebook. And something extraordinary happened. My brain started to automatically translate without conscious effort. The poverty language started to sound foreign to my own ears. Technique number 6. The wealth response rehearsal athletes visualize successful performance before competition. We're going to do the same thing for wealth responses. Every morning for exactly 7 minutes, you rehearse wealth responses. Minute 1-2. Visualize an opportunity appearing. Be specific. A client offering work, an investment opportunity, someone asking your price. Minute 3-4. Visualize the old poverty response trying to activate, the anxiety, the fear, the automatic no. Minute 5-6. Visualize yourself using the 3-second intervention, then choosing the wealth response. Calm confidence, seeing possibility, saying yes strategically. Minute 7. Visualize the positive outcome, money flowing in, doors opening, growth happening. This isn't wishful thinking. This is neural rehearsal. You're literally pre-wiring your brain to execute wealth responses before the real situation appears. I did this every single morning for 90 days. And when real opportunities appeared, I noticed something remarkable. My body already knew how to respond. The wealth response felt rehearsed, familiar, natural. The anti-sabotage protocol, remember T. Harv Eker's financial thermostat from video 1? Here's the advanced technique for preventing automatic sabotage when you start earning more. Most people, when they have a good financial month, unconsciously create an emergency to drain the excess back to their comfort level. The anti-sabotage protocol prevents this. Every time money comes in above your current baseline, immediately do this. Step 1. Acknowledge it out loud. I just received amount. This is becoming my new normal. Step 2. Transfer 10% to a separate account labeled thermostat upgrade that you don't touch for 90 days. Step 3. Visualize this higher amount as your new baseline for 30 seconds. Step 4. Write in your journal, it's safe for me to have this much money. Why does this work? Because you're consciously intercepting the sabotage pattern before it executes. That 10% you transfer? It's teaching your nervous system that you can have more and keep it. The visualization and written statement are reprogramming the thermostat in real time. I did this religiously. And for the first time in my life, when I had a $5,000 month, I didn't mysteriously have a $5,000 emergency the next week. The money stayed, and my thermostat adjusted upward. Technique number 7, the prosperity evidence compound. Remember the proof archive from video 1? We're taking it deeper. Every evening, spend exactly 5 minutes doing this. Minute 1. Write down 3 pieces of evidence that you made wealth-aligned decisions today, even tiny ones. Minute 2. Write down 1 moment you felt abundant instead of scarce. Minute 3. Calculate your wealth decision score for the day. How many times you chose abundance response versus poverty response? Just a rough count. Minute 4. Write down any money that came in, from any source, any amount. Minute 5. Read the last 3 days of entries to compound the evidence. This daily practice does something profound. It trains your reticular activating system, the brain's filter, to notice wealth-building moments instead of scarcity-confirming moments. Before this practice, I was unconsciously filtering my day through a scarcity lens. I noticed every expense, every no, every limitation, but I barely registered the opportunities, the wins, the progress. After 90 days of the prosperity evidence compound, my filter completely flipped. I started noticing opportunities everywhere, money appearing from unexpected sources, doors opening. It wasn't that reality changed, my perception filter changed. If this content is giving you actual tools to break free from poverty programming, do me a favor. Like this video now, drop a comment with the word reprogram so I know this is landing, and make sure you're subscribed because video 3, where we build your complete wealth operating system, is coming. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You can have all the best techniques in the world, but if you don't have a daily system that executes them consistently, nothing changes permanently. Motivation fades, willpower depletes. But ritual, practiced daily without negotiation, creates permanent transformation. The Millionaire Morning Protocol. After studying dozens of wealthy individuals and testing hundreds of variations, I developed what I call the Millionaire Morning Protocol. This is non-negotiable for 90 days, minimum, 6 a.m. to 6:30 a.m., 30-minute window, minutes 1 through 5, hydration and movement, drink water, do light stretching, this wakes up your nervous system, minutes 6 through 10. Identity declaration. Writing. Write 3 identity statements by hand. Read each out loud with emotional intensity. Visualize one scene of living that identity. Minutes 11 through 15. Prosperity evidence. Review. Read yesterday's evidence entries. Feel gratitude for progress. Set intention for today. Minutes 16 through 20. Wealth response rehearsal. Visualize opportunity appearing. Practice choosing wealth response. Feel the emotion of success. Minutes 21 through 25. Financial focus setting. Review your wealth target for the month. Identify the one highest leverage action for today. Commit to executing it before noon. Minutes 26 through 30. Abundance priming. Read or listen to 5 minutes of wealth mindset content. This could be a chapter from Think and Grow Rich, a podcast episode, or an article. The goal is to prime your brain with abundance language before the world gets to you. Why this specific sequence? Because it's designed to hijack your morning cortisol spike. Research from Tony Schwartz shows that cortisol, your stress hormone, is naturally highest in the first 30 minutes after waking. If you immediately check email or news, you're training your nervous system to start the day in reactive stress mode. But if you use that cortisol spike with intentional reprogramming, you're leveraging your brain's natural heightened state for transformation. I followed this protocol without exception for 120 days. And here's what happened. After about day 45, I stopped needing willpower to do it. It became automatic. My brain started craving the ritual. The evening wealth integration. What you do in the last 30 minutes before sleep is equally critical because your brain processes and consolidates during sleep. 9:30 p.m. to 10 p.m., 30-minute window. Minutes 1 through 5. Financial dashboard review. Look at your numbers, income, expenses, savings. No judgment, just awareness. Note one insight. Minutes 6 through 10. Prosperity evidence compound. Write 3 wealth-aligned decisions from today. Write 1 abundance feeling you had. Calculate rough wealth decision. Score minutes 11 through 15. Scarcity translation review. Review any scarcity thoughts you caught today. Write their abundance translations. Notice any patterns. Minutes 16 through 20. Tomorrow's wealth intention. Write down the one most important wealth-building action for tomorrow. Visualize executing it successfully. Feel the completion emotion. Minutes 21 through 30. Subconscious reprogramming. Sleep protocol. Lie down, lights off. Play recorded wealth affirmations in your own voice. Visualize wealth scenarios while drifting to sleep. Let the affirmations continue playing. This evening ritual does 2 things. It consolidates the day's learning, and it programs your subconscious during the highly receptive theta state as you fall asleep. The weekly wealth recalibration. Every Sunday evening, block 90 minutes for what I call the weekly wealth recalibration. The 7 questions. 1. What was my total income this week from all sources? 2. What were my total expenses, and were they aligned with my wealth goals? 3. What was my wealth decision score trend, improving or declining? 4. What's one limiting belief that showed up repeatedly this week? 5. What's one new abundance belief I'm installing to replace it? 6. What's my one highest leverage wealth action for next week? 7. On a scale of 1 to 10, how wealthy did I feel this week, and what would make it a 10 next week? This weekly review creates meta-awareness. You're not just executing daily, you're tracking patterns, adjusting course, optimizing your reprogramming. Technique number 8, the accountability anchor. Here's something I learned the hard way. Transformation is 10 times more likely to stick when you have external accountability. Find one person, just one, who's also committed to wealth. Reprogramming. Every week you have a 15-minute call where you each share your wealth decision score for the week, one poverty pattern you broke, one wealth response you successfully executed, your commitment for next week. Just knowing someone will ask about your week creates psychological pressure to follow through. And celebrating each other's wins reinforces the new patterns. I found my accountability partner through an online community. We've been doing weekly check-ins for 3 years now. Neither of us has missed the protocol for more than 2 consecutive days in that entire time. The 90-Day Transformation Challenge. Here's your mission, and it's non-negotiable if you want real change. Commit to 90 consecutive days of the morning protocol and evening integration. No exceptions. No, I'm too busy. No, I'll start Monday. Why 90 days? Because research from Philip Alali at University College London shows that complex behavior changes, especially identity-level changes, take 66 to 90 days to become automatic. 21 days isn't enough. That's a myth. 30 days isn't enough. You need the full 90. But here's the promise. If you do this without exception for 90 days, your brain will be literally, measurably different. Neural pathways will have rewired. The poverty programs will have weakened. The wealth responses will have become automatic. And on day 91, you won't need to force yourself anymore. The new programming will be your default. So here we are. You now have the complete deprogramming and reprogramming system. The 3-second intervention to break automatic poverty responses. The 2-minute commitment rule to overcome analysis paralysis. The scarcity to abundance translator to change your language. The wealth response rehearsal to pre-wire success. The anti-sabotage protocol to protect your gains. The prosperity evidence compound to shift your filter. The millionaire morning protocol to optimize your day. The evening wealth integration to consolidate learning. The weekly wealth recalibration to track progress. The accountability anchor to ensure follow-through. This isn't theory. This is the exact system I used to break free from poverty programming that was installed over decades. But here's the truth. Bomb. None of this matters if you don't apply it. You can know every technique perfectly and still stay exactly where you are if you don't commit to the 90-day transformation. So here's what you do right now. Go to the comments and declare, I commit to 90 days of the Millionaire Morning Protocol starting tomorrow morning. Day 1 begins. Insert date. Be specific. Public commitment activates accountability. Then, do these 3 things before closing this video. 1. Set an alarm for 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Not, I'll see how I feel. Set it now. 2. Prepare your journal tonight. Have it on your nightstand ready. 3. Write down your 3 identity statements right now so you know exactly what you're declaring tomorrow. And if you haven't yet, grab the complete implementation guide from the first comment. It has all the templates, scripts, and worksheets for the 90-day transformation. Remember, the poverty programming took decades to install. You're attempting to reverse it in 90 days. That requires absolute consistency. But here's what I can guarantee. If you do this protocol for 90 consecutive days, on day 91, you will be a fundamentally different person in how you think about, feel about, and respond to money. Not a little better. Fundamentally different. In video 3, we're bringing it all together into your complete wealth operating system. How to structure your finances, build multiple income streams, and create generational wealth that outlasts you. But video 3 only works if you've done the reprogramming work from videos 1 and 2. The awakening happened. The transformation is happening now. If you commit. Next comes the mastery. See you there, where prosperity isn't something you chase, but something you embody, because you've literally reprogrammed your brain for it.